What's good, guys? Hope you guys are having an amazing day, guys. Without further ado, this is the UFC last minute predictions, guys. UFC 305 takes place tomorrow, August 17th. We're going to be running down the whole card, and we're going to be doing our last minute predictions on what we think is going to happen for each and every single fight. And without further ado, guys, we're going to start with the main event, ending with the prelims. This was a little bit harder to do because the ceremonial weigh-in hasn't happened yet, so bear with me. Jesus Aguilar, only fighter to miss weight by 127.5. These guys do not like to cut weight, bro. Me personally, I'd cut that extra pound because I'm not taking that 20%, but some people are willing to take that 20% because it's not enough. When we look at this, guys, Israel Adesanya versus Dricus Du Plessis. Israel Adesanya was the first one to make weight today. First one on the scale. Shows that he's ready. Yesterday at the press conference, he was crying, though. Shows that he's vulnerable. He admitted that Dricus got away with that one. So it shows that he's a little sentimental and a little bit more emotional than he was in any time of his career for this fight. Coming back to try to get his belt, try to be the three-time middleweight champion. Izzy was the first one to weigh in. Izzy, let's go over the odds, guys. When we look at Israel Adesanya weigh, he looks like he's good. His face looks very sunken in. And right now, going over the odds, Dricus Du Plessis is a minus 105. Israel Adesanya is a minus 115. When I look at this fight, guys, I like to pay attention to the mindset. I like to pay attention to where they're at in their careers and what has happened prior to this fight. So Dricus Du Plessis, let's fast forward right here. He walks to the scale. Dricus Du Plessis on an amazing win streak. Had a weird split decision over Sean Strickland, but if you want to give him it, you could give him 2, 3, and 4. I had 1, 3, and 5 for Strickland, but he won by split decision. And now, prior to that, he beat Robert Whittaker, beat guys like Derek Brunson, beat a lot of people. And now he's almost becoming the favorite in this matchup. He weighs in a little bit heavier than Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya weighed in at 184.5, I believe, and Dricus weighs in at 185. Full weigh in. He looks more cut. He looks a little bit more filled out. I think he will be the heavier fighter tomorrow. He's gonna be shooting like crazy tomorrow. When we look at these props, guys, it's crazy because these props are pretty good, and I think that this fight doesn't go the distance. I want to show you guys the face-offs, guys, between them. This is how they looked. Technically, Du Plessis 185 is Israel Adesanya 184. Right here, I want to show you guys like some tape footage. I know this has nothing to do with the fight, but it shows Izzy does tape study. Izzy does tape study, and he's not here just to collect a check, and he's not here just to wing it and try to make it. He does a lot of tape study, and in my opinion, guys, I think that this fight doesn't go the distance. I think either the challenger or the champion will get a finish, guys, whether it be Israel Adesanya or Dricus Du Plessis. I think this fight does not go the distance. When you look at their reach, it's almost discrepancy. There's a discrepancy in the reach, 76 to 80-inch reach, 6'1", 6'4", 184, 35 years old to 30. Dricus is the younger fighter, and I believe that Dricus will be the favorite by tomorrow. When we look at the face-off, guys, I love this face-off, guys. It shows that there's a little bit bigger gap in height, and I think there's going to be at least 1 more inch in reach for Israel Adesanya. Not that it benefits him or it has anything to do, but the face-off was intense. I'm hyped for this fight, and I think this fight doesn't go the distance. My best props, Dricus by sub, plus 650. Izzy by KO, plus 310. Dricus by decision, plus 400. Izzy by decision, plus 230. So in my opinion, guys, if you don't like any of those guys, you can take double chances. Dricus by KO. Dricus by KO or on points is plus 140. And then Israel Adesanya, guys, if you want to do the double chance on Israel Adesanya, it is by KO or on points. It's minus 115. It's the same as his money line. So me personally, guys, I think he throws up some triangles. He threw up some triangles against Marvin Vettori. And I'll just take the money line. I'm going to go Israel Adesanya to win this fight by 3rd round KO. When I look at this fight, guys, I think Dricus Du Plessis, he's the younger fighter. He's probably on some gear. But he should be able to capitalize on Dricus Du Plessis' sloppy striking. I know Dricus tends to make things work and tends to get things done. But in my opinion, guys, I don't think Dricus gets this one done for himself today or tomorrow whenever you're watching this. I got Israel Adesanya to win this fight by 3rd round KO. Give me that this fight doesn't go the distance as my best prop. And if you guys want to take one of these fighters, money line is the best, in my opinion, best option. So right here, 1402, we have Kai Kara France make weight. Kai Kara France versus Steve Erceg. Steve Erceg is my lock of the week. Steve Erceg is a minus 172 lock of the week. He was a minus 180, got high as a minus 190. earlier this week. But in my opinion, I think Kai Kara-France should be able to beat him. No. What am I saying? I think Kai Kara-France should be able to give him a run for his money and should be able to take off 1 round off of him. Kai Kara-France, in my opinion, I think this fight goes a distance. Over 2.5 is minus 280. We're going to look at how Kai Kara-France looks on the scales. Kai Kara-France is a beast. Beat guys like Cody Garbrandt. Beat guys. He just got a loss to Amir Albazi, and he took a hiatus off, but I think that's better for him. And he gets to fight somewhere near Auckland, New Zealand. And he got a good pump from the crowd yesterday. Steve Erceg, 38-15. Let me just get Steve Erceg weighing in at 38-15. So this is when they interview Dricus. It's going to load. It's going to take forever to load, bro. It's because I'm going way too far into the pod. I'll refresh it, though, if it doesn't load. Come on, bro. It's a fucking YouTube video. 38-15. I have it saved, though. So the only thing that's bad about refreshing is that you get an ad. But when we look at Erceg by points is plus 130. I like that. Kai by points is plus 260. I think that this fight definitely goes a distance. Not only do I think this fight goes a distance, but I think that one of these guys is going to win by decision. 38-15, 38-15. I really liked how Erceg looked on the scales right here. Let's just rewind it. He looks very good. He just looked very sunken in, bro. His face, you can see it in his eyes that this guy had a tough weight cut, and you have to take that into consideration, guys. Over 2.5 is minus 280. In my opinion, I'm going to take the Erceg by points at a plus 130. I know some people have Erceg by submission. Some people have Erceg by KO. But in my opinion, I think this fight goes over 2.5, and somebody's going to win a decision, whether it's split. If you want to take Kai Kara-France to win at plus 260 by points, is very, very good. I'll take Erceg to win this fight by decision at a plus 130. Then we go to the second fight, guys. I can't wait for this one, guys. 14:34. So I have to go back and forth because this is not the ceremony weigh-ins. So we look at Dan Hooker on the scale. Dan Hooker plus 270. Gamrot is a minus 355. One of the biggest favorites on the card. Almost a minus 400. Dan Hooker by KO is plus 800. If you want that, I think that's his only chance of winning. He can win a grimy decision, but he has to defend a shit ton of takedowns. I think it's him by KO or nothing. He has to land one of those knees or one of those crazy haymakers. In my opinion, though, he's not a guy who lands haymakers. He's a guy who has that volume output and tends to break you as the fight goes on. He says he has a different style leading up to this fight, and he has something planned for Gamrot. In my opinion, Gamrot by decision, minus 130 is one of the best props. Let's just look at how Gamrot looked. 120.29. Let's hope that this loads, right? It's YouTube. So Gamrot had to use the box to weigh in. And this doesn't mean anything. I mean, it means that it was a little bit of a tougher cut in general than it was for Hooker. They have less than 24 hours to rehydrate, so we have to pay attention to that. Dan Hooker tends to get dropped every time. So if there's props of Dan Hooker, Gamrot tends to get dropped almost 4 times out of his last fights. So if Dan Hooker props for him to drop Gamrot, you could take that. I think Hooker wins at least 1 round, and Gamrot's going to win this fight by decision at a minus 130, 29-28. Gamrot looks good, man, and he says that he's definitely going to take down Hooker. It's going to be a fun fight, though, guys. Give me Gamrot to win this fight by decision at a minus 130. 5409, 5409, 5409. So we have Biggie Boy versus Tai Tuivasa, guys. Biggie Boy minus 235 for Biggie Boy. Tai Tuivasa's plus 186. Biggie Boy, in my opinion, the best prop. It's parlayable. It's very huge, very greased, juiced up to the grills. Minus 650, that this fight doesn't go the distance. I think it's the most obvious prop. If you want to use that as parlay, you can. My best prop for this fight is the under 1.5 at a minus 192. I think this fight doesn't go past the first round. If it does, it's going to be a slop fest, and maybe you could get some plus money in that. But if you want to take the under or over 1.5, I think it's a very good spot. You could even take both in different slips. Biggie Boy by KO first round is a plus 145, and Tai by KO first round is a plus 550. In my opinion, somebody's going to get knocked out in the first round. I don't think this fight goes past the first round. Let's see how Tai Tuivasa looked on the scales. 135.57. 135.57. Sorry, guys. I got to go all over the place for this. But in my opinion, it's a better look because we get to look at how the fighters look on the scales and how they look. Tai Tuivasa looks a lot leaner is what they said. I don't know if Dom Cruz was just kissing ass, but he still looks the same in my opinion. I don't think he trains every single day, and I think he's just here to collect a check. I want to see Tai Tuivasa drink a shoey after he knocks out Biggie Boy. So if you guys want Tai Tuivasa by first round KO, plus 550, I like that. But I'm going to go Biggie Boy by first round KO at a plus 145. And I'll take the under 1.52 in a different slip. Tai Tuivasa looks like he's ready. But he tends to get caught a lot more than usual. And he tends to bring himself into a brawl. Biggie Boy said that he wanted to take some takedowns in yesterday. He said, I'm going to play smart in the press conference. So Biggie Boy looks like he's more fundamentally sound and he's ready for this fight. I'll take Biggie Boy by first round KO. 16:35. Carlos Prates versus the Leech. 16:35, 16:35, 16:35. So Carlos Prates said that he wanted to fight in Australia because his daughter, his 4-year-old daughter, is in Australia. It's also his birthday, August 17th, in Australia right now, but tomorrow, technically in USA, it's his birthday, or Brazil. Carlos Prates beat Charles Radke in June. Quick turnaround, took 2 weeks off, then right back into camp. 4-year-old daughter's Australian. She'll be able to watch him for the first time live ever, and I think that's huge, bro. I think that Carlos Prates fighting in front of his daughter is going to be huge, and I think he's going to get a second-round KO in front of his daughter and show her that he's here to stay. He has been knocked out in the past before. He's been finished 3 times by KO and 2 times by submission, I believe. And he can get knocked out by a guy like Leech, who has never been finished before. Leech has never been knocked out in the UFC. He's never been finished ever. 39.13 for the Leech, to see how the Leech looked on the scales. Carlos Prates looks good, though. I get an ad, though. It was inevitable that I was going to get an ad. And I think the Leech, if you want to get props for the Leech, my best prop for the Leech is third round KO. It's like a plus 2,800. But Leech always looks happy. He always is in a fundamental mood, and he's always optimistic about everything that he does. He's been beating guys like Santiago Ponzinibbio, Muslim Solikov, and a lot of guys. But in my opinion, those guys don't match up to Carlos Prates. And his layoff, he had spine surgery and supposedly wasn't successful, so he had to go through it again. In my opinion, guys, I think Carlos Prates is going to finish him in the second round KO. If you want to look for the props for those fights, we can look at them right now. Plus 270 for Jingliang. Carlos Prates minus 355, almost minus 400. I took the double chance, Carlos Prates by KO or on points at a minus 280. But if you guys want total rounds, under 2.5 is a minus 152. I think under 2.5 is one of the best. Method of victory, if you just want to take Carlos Prates by KO, it's plus 100. And I think it's one of the most likely outcomes because of Leech is a dog, and I love him, and he's one of my favorite fighters. But Leech has taken a lot of time off, and I don't know if you can be that successful after coming off of spine surgery. So we'll see how he looks. But give me Carlos Prates by KO, method of victory, plus 100, guys. And I'll take the under 2.5 at a minus 152. Very, very good fight on our hands, guys. Very stacked fight. Next, we have Junior Tafa versus Walter Walker. 137.02. 137.02. 137.02. 137.02. 137.02. So it was a little bit harder to find all these notes and write them down because there's no ceremonial weigh-in. Jesus Aguilar, we'll talk about him later. Junior Tafa, the brother of the other Tafa brother, and Walter Walker, the other brother of Johnny Walker. These guys, the brothers of trash, because they both suck. No, I'm just kidding. Junior Tafa, Walter Walker, very close fight, guys. I like moneyline from both of these sides. If you guys want to take any type of props from both of these sides, moneyline is the best prop in my opinion. As I'm talking right now, the odds are switching right now as I speak. Junior Tafa is shrinking as a dog at a minus 126. He was a minus 130 earlier in the week, and now he's a minus 126. He's probably going to be a minus 115 by tomorrow. And Walter Walker is a plus 108. If you want to take this fight total rounds over 1.5, minus 148, I love that. I took that immediately. As soon as I saw that, over 1.5, 7.5 minutes. If Junior Tafa wins, his only type of win, look at all of his wins in the UFC. It's all by KO. It's either by KO or he loses a decision. So nothing in between. You want to pick your poison, pick Junior Tafa by KO or pick Walter Walker by decision, by slop fest. He had a very crazy fight against Lucas Brzezinski. Very sloppy fest. And over 1.5 is probably going to hit at a minus 148. I don't think Junior Tafa, who's a kickboxer, got TKO'd by Rodrigo de Lima by leg kicks after stepping in for his brother. I don't know. It doesn't look too good for him. 137. He looks good on the scales, though. He looks really good. 137.46. And Walter Walker's right after him. So these guys have almost the exact same time to weigh in and replenish. Less than 24 hours to rehydrate. right now as we're speaking. Valter Walker, I think this is going to be an official pick flip, guys. I picked Valter Walker at the beginning. I think I picked Junior Tafa at the beginning to KO him. But, guys, I think I'm going to take Valter Walker. And I know this is very insane. He got into a lot better shape than he does. I think he's going to take this fight into consideration a lot better than his last fight. And I think he wins this fight, guys. Official pick flip, guys. Valter Walker at a plus 108. I'll take that over Junior Tafa minus 126. I think Junior Tafa's only way to win, guys, is by KO. Junior Tafa by KO plus 135. If you want to take that, you could take that. I'm going to take the over 1.5 as my best prop. And I'm not going to touch this fight with a 10-foot pole. This fight screams 1-800-GAMBLER. Valter Walker, he is that guy who's going to look terrible tomorrow, but he might get a sloppy takedown and be able to hold Junior Tafa down forever. Give me Valter Walker just because I think Junior Tafa is not as good as we all think. And if he doesn't get the KO, he's fucked. And his takedown defense is not really the best. So, this is a really sloppy fest. Don't go with me. Don't tail me. Go with your heart. I'll go Valter Walker, official pick flip. I think I'm going to regret it. 1302, 1302, 1302, 1302, 1302. Ricardo Ramos, guys, the butt scooter, the famous butt scooter, the quitter, the guy who lost by guillotine to Charles Jourdain. Ricardo Ramos, butt scooter versus Josh Culibao. When we look at this fight, guys, you know what I say? I say it's BJJ versus Striker. Minus 136 for Josh Culibao, plus 116 for Ricardo Ramos. Bro, it's either you know something about him, like, that I don't know, or something's going on because the odds have shrunk. Josh Culibao was a minus 150. Now he's a minus 136. Some people think that Ricardo Ramos is going to be able to take Josh Culibao's back and probably get a submission. Let me look at the method of victory. Ricardo Ramos by submission is plus 440. And Josh Culibao by KO is plus 330. But my best prop is over 2.5 at a minus 134. I think this fight goes the distance. Not only do I think this fight goes the distance, but I think over 2.5 hits. And it's not a bad prop at a minus 134. I'd rather take the over 2.5 than take Josh Culibao at minus 136. I don't know why he's shrinking as a dog, but the bookies need to, they probably know something that I don't. Josh Culibao by KO or on points is a minus 115 if you want to shrink it, if you're still on the Josh Culibao side. And if you want to go Ricardo Ramos by KO or on points, it's plus 210. So no matter what you're doing, guys, it's plus money, guys. I'll take Josh Culibao to win this fight, though. We look at Ricardo Ramos weigh in. When I look at him weigh in, bro, in my opinion, I don't even think he should be in the UFC, bro. I don't really think, I don't know. He's not entertaining at all. If we cut a guy like Mokaev, why do we have a guy like this? But we need tin cans in order for other people to rise in the UFC. So he looks good on the scales, looks really cut. 119.56 for Josh Culibao. He weighed in a lot later, too, so I don't know if he had a lot of trouble getting in, but I think this is why the odds actually shrunk. Because he struggled to make weight. He had to get the box in to make weight, and if you have less than the 34-hour that we normally have, this 24 hours is going to be hell for him, bro. Because Sunday morning, if you don't feel good, if you don't drink that lemon water, you're going to be in hell, bro. So Josh Culibao, you better be sleeping right now that I'm talking, because I want you to win this fight, bro. I'll take Josh Culibao to win this fight at a minus 136, just money line. I don't want to get fancy with it. I'll just take him to win this fight. He had a tough cut, though, guys, so take that into consideration, guys. Next fight. I think you guys are going to like this one, guys. This one's a little bit exciting. Not for the reasons that you might think, but it's very exciting. 1202. So this is Tom Nolan. We'll talk about him later. He looked really good on the scales, but this is who we're talking about right now, guys. We're talking about Luana Santos versus Casey O'Neill. Luana Santos versus Casey O'Neill is an amazing fight. Luana Santos just fought 4 weeks ago against Maria Apagova. Amazing fight, quick turnaround for Luana Santos. Goes all the way to Perth, Australia. Shows up to fight Casey O'Neill, one of the hometown crowd favorites. Minus 142 for Luana Santos. She was a minus 150 earlier this week, and now she's a minus 142. Casey O'Neill's a plus 120. If you want this fight over 2.5, I think that's one of the best. Let's go look at how Casey looked on the scales. Casey, 1533, 1533. And you know what I like about these girls? They both weighed in very fast. So you know that this fight's going to be war. I think both of these ladies are very, very, very good looking. And not only that, over 2.5 is minus 235. I think over 2.5 hits. Some people are talking Luana by submission. They're taking the double chance by Luana by submission or on points at a minus 125. If you want to take that, you can take that. But in my opinion, I think the best props are method of victory, where it goes Luana Santos by points plus 145, Casey O'Neill by points plus 260. I think Casey O'Neill has a better chance than I gave her earlier in this week, just because she's the taller fighter and she's not taking this fight on short notice. She had a full camp. Luana Santos doesn't have a full camp. We have to see where she's at, but Casey O'Neill has had very off split decisions against Roxanne. She's coming off of 2 losses, I believe. Yeah, 2 losses she's coming off of. Let me just make sure that that's right. I believe it's 2 losses. Not only is it 2 losses, though, but it's 2 losses to people that she should have been able to beat. Like, for example, I forgot her name. Ariana Lipski and Jennifer Maia. So those losses are very important to take into consideration, but she should look a lot better this fight. I got the over 2.5 at a minus 235. I took that earlier in this week, and I'll be happy to take that. I'm going to take Luana Santos at a minus 142. I think she's going to win this fight. If she doesn't find a submission, she'll be able to win this fight by decision. But Casey O'Neill is going to give her hell, guys, in my opinion. So give me Luana Santos at a minus 142 to win this fight. And we'll see how this ages. We'll see exactly how this ages by tomorrow, Saturday, after this. 15:06 for Jack Jenkins, 15:06. So he's actually a little bit prior right here. He's right here, guys. Jack Jenkins is in optimistic mood, guys. And he's a beast, bro. I like Jack Jenkins, bro. Jack Jenkins versus Herbert Burns. Gilbert Burns' brother said in an interview that his brother went through a lot of surgeries and that some of them were unsuccessful. So we have to take that into consideration when we're looking at this fight. Jack Jenkins is one of the biggest favorites on the card, if not, I mean, the second biggest favorite on the card at a minus 800. Earlier this week, he was a minus 700. Herbert Burns is a plus 560. I think if you're going to take Herbert Burns, guys, you got to take him by if anybody out there, is anybody out there taking Herbert Burns? If anybody out there is taking Herbert Burns, you're taking Herbert Burns by KO or submission at a plus 700. I don't think he's winning this fight by decision. The best props, I mean, some people are going Jack Jenkins by KO or submission at a minus 340. Jack Jenkins by KO or on points, minus 400. This could get sloppy and he could not be able to finish Gilbert Burns, but I'm going to be taking Jack Jenkins by KO round 2. I think that's one of the best props, guys. Let me see where it is exactly. Jack Jenkins by KO round 2 is a plus 320. Herbert Burns tends to get finished a lot inside the second round. If we look, he's lost at least almost 5 times in the second round. Jack Jenkins looks like he's in very phenomenal shape. And I want to see how Herbert Burns looked on the scale. I have the timestamp right here, 16:02. So he actually weighed in right after. So I like how these guys weigh in first. In my opinion, I think the people who weigh in first are the people who take the sport most serious. Who aren't eating, who aren't sleeping in. They take the sport serious. Herbert Burns has been finished inside the first round, guys. Inside the second round. I'll tell you exactly how many times. At least like 3 times right now as we're speaking. Herbert Burns looks in phenomenal shape, though. And he looks like he should be able to put up a good fight. Let's hope that he can make it out the first round just to get finished in the second round. His last fight against Julio Arce, he got finished in the second round. Bill Algiu got finished in the second round. Daniel Pineda got finished in the second round, guys. And when he loses, it's either in the first round or second round, guys. I think all of Herbert Burns' losses, most of them, have come in the second round. So give me Jack Jenkins to win by KO or submission in the second round. I think that's the best prop for this fight. I like it, and I like it. I like it a lot. Next fight, Tom Nolan, 12 o'clock at 12 o'clock. Tom Nolan, biggest favorite on the card. Biggest favorite, guys. Do I even need to go over this fight, guys? It's a good thing that we went over the main event and then we got to the prelims. Tom Nolan, biggest favorites on the card versus Alex Reyes, guys. Tom Nolan is literally a minus 1,400, bro. I'm trying to look right now. Exactly. Tom Nolan's a minus 1350, bro. He's literally a minus 1,350, bro. And he literally got finished he got finished by Charlie Campbell by KO, but it's not about him. It's about who he's fighting, Alex Reyes. Alex Reyes is not good. He's 13-4 in the UFC. And he looks like he's not... He got finished by Nicholas Mota. My bad, guys. He didn't get finished by Charlie Campbell. He got finished by Nicholas Mota, right cross to ground strikes. And Tom Nolan has been KO'd in both of his losses, bro. All of his losses, he's been KO'd, guys. He got KO'd outside of the UFC against Aaron McCone in 2018. Lost by KO round 3. Tom Nolan loves to get knocked out, but his opponent loves to get knocked out even more. Alex Reyes, 13-4-0 in the UFC. Bro, this guy has... He lost to Mike Perry by knee in round 1. Charlie Campbell, he lost by KO in the first round. This guy is nowhere near the echelon elite division of of UFC. He should be cut from the UFC, but we need tin cans in order for these guys to rise. Tom Nolan by first round KO, guys. Let's see if we can get some good props, guys. Method and round combo. Tom Nolan by KO. Let's see. Tom Nolan by KO, round 1, minus 125. I think that's the best prop, guys. Tom Nolan by KO, round 1, minus 125. If you look at all the other props, guys, will this fight go the distance? No, minus 1,600. Total rounds, under 1.5, minus 270, bro. Like, you're not going to find anything, bro. You're not going to find any good props for this fight other than first round KO. It's either first round KO or nothing, guys, in my opinion. Pick your poison. Do you want to choose this guy for a little bit of extra sauce, or do you want to just skip it, guys? In my opinion, guys, I'm going to skip it. 23-38. 23-38. Just look at Alex Reyes. I know nobody really cares about him, but he needed the box to weigh in. Give me Tom Nolan by first round KO. Start off the card good, guys. 1706, 1706, 1706, 1706. If this one was a little bit weirder, guys, let me know. If you guys like this one more than the ceremonial weigh-in, guys, let me know. I could do this more. 1706, Stewart Nicoll versus Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar versus the only dude to miss weight, guys. Stewart Nicoll is a minus... Hang on, guys. I missed the Kenan fight. I missed the Kenan. Thank God I fucking realized right before, guys. Thank God I realized right before. Kenan. Kenan versus his opponent, Ricky Glenn, guys. I thought I had it here. I literally had it here. Kenan was one of the first to weigh in, guys. Not only was he one of the first to weigh in, but Ricky Glenn was early too. I'm not gonna find it. I'm literally not gonna find it now. Let's go. We'll find it, guys. We'll find it. Kenan. I had it right here. Josh Culibao, Kenan. Alex Reyes. There he is. That's Leach, actually. My bad. Kenan was actually one of the later ones to weigh in. Bro, I can't find him, guys. I cannot find him. I had it written down in my notes, guys, and now it's not here. It's only 25. Kenan. Ricky Glenn versus Kenan Song, guys. 13-28, guys. My bad, guys. 13-28, 13-28, 13-28. Guys, just skip this. 13-28. I got a little confused. Okay, there we go. 13-28 is Ricky Glenn. Here we go. We see Ricky Glenn weigh in on the scales, guys. I finally got it. Let's go, guys. I got it. All right, Dicky. I knew I had it. Ricky Glenn versus Kenan. Ooh, we look at Ricky Glenn, guys. He's moving up from 155 all the way to welterweight, guys. It doesn't look too good for him. Kenan, he doesn't look like he's in the best shape either. Kenan, 119.18. This is exactly why I didn't find it, guys. 119.18. Of course, he's one of the last dudes to weigh in, guys. Kenan, guys. I think Kenan's going to win by KO, guys. Kenan at a minus 188. Ricky Glenn at a plus 158. Kenan, method of victory. If you want to go Kenan by KO, it's plus 140. Will this fight go the distance? No, at a minus 130, at a minus 196. Total rounds under 2.5 at a minus 146. I like that. Double chance just in case he doesn't get the KO. Kenan by KO on points. Minus 165. Ricky Glenn can win this fight by decision. If you're thinking that, if you think he has a good chance of wrestling, I saw in an interview he said that he wanted to wrestle. Ricky Glenn by points. Ricky Glenn by points is plus 400. But in my opinion, I think Kenan wins by KO or by decision at a minus 136, at a minus 165, sorry. So give me Kenan to win this fight, guys. Sorry for the hold-up for that, guys. Without further ado, guys, let's get into Stewart Nicoll versus his opponent, Jesus Aguilar. Let's get into it. Stewart Nicoll, 1706, 1706, 1706, 1706. Stewart Nicoll, one of the first to weigh in, guys, shows that he's very ready, and he's making his UFC debut against Jesus Aguilar. Stewart Nicoll is a minus 210. He's strong because earlier this week he was a minus 225, and some bookies have him at a minus 200. Plus 176 for Jesus Aguilar. Stewart Nicoll actually looks good, and he's called out Dominic Cruz, said that he wanted to challenge him to a breakdown competition. Jesus Aguilar is a minus 136, 22. Let's see where he weighed in a little bit later. He had a very tough cut, in my opinion, and I think this is going to bite him in the ass, guys, because he's one of the first fighters to fight tomorrow. Plus 176. When I look at this fight, guys, I'm going to be taking Stewart Nicoll to win this fight. I'm going to take the double chance. I like this double chance. Stewart Nicoll by KO or on points is a minus 115. Shrinks him down, but if you think Stewart Nicoll wins, there's this also, because he's more of a wrestler. Stewart Nicoll by submission or on points is minus 140, and I think that's actually a better prop than by KO. I don't think he's going to KO Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar is a beast, guys, and his only loss in the UFC was to Tafa, who is a very good guy. He's a very good prospect. So if you want to take Jesus Aguilar, you could take the money line. I'm going to be taking Stewart Nicoll to win this fight at a minus 210, guys. These guys are going to look insane for tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think for this entire card, for this entire video, guys. Let me know who you guys got, guys. This entire card is going to be sick. Let me know who you guys got. Let's do a little recap, guys. Longer video than usual. Aguilar versus Stewart Nicoll. Nicoll to win by submission or on points. Kenan versus Ricky Glenn. Kenan to win by KO or on points. Nolan versus Reyes. Nolan by first round KO at minus 125. Jenkins versus Herbert Burns. Jenkins to win his fight by first or second round. Me, personally, I got the second round prop. I believe it's a plus 300. Luana Santos, specifically KO second round, though. If you want to go submission, maybe he gets a submission, but I'm going to go Jack Jenkins by KO round 2. O'Neal versus Luana Santos. Luana Santos to win her fight by unanimous decision, 29-28, minus 142. A little bit risky because it's on short notice. Culibao versus Ramos. Culibao to win his fight, over 2.5, minus 136. Well, Culibao's a minus 136 too, so I'll just take the money line. But 29-28 to win his fight against Ricardo, the butt scooter Ramos. Valter Walker and Junior Tafa. Walter to win by a boring decision. 29-28, 30-27 on all judges' scorecards. Lay and pray on Junior Tafa. Let's hope Junior Tafa can get the KO, though. He's shrinking as a dog as we speak. Prates versus Jingliang. Prates by KO, specifically KO round 2, but Prates by KO is a plus 100. I'll easily take that. Leech has never been finished in the UFC, though. Tuivasa versus Rozenstruik. Rozenstruik by first round KO. He's already a minus 235, but if you want to go by KO, specifically go first round, guys, because I think if this fight gets out of the first round, maybe somebody gets KO'd, but this fight doesn't go the distance, minus 650. I think you can find better props than that. So give me Biggie Boy by KO first round. Hooker versus Gamrot. Gamrot by decision at a minus 130. I think it's the best prop. I mean, if you want to go Hooker by KO, go plus 800, but you could go Hooker by decision. I don't think it's possible, though. Gamrot's going to be shooting and shooting and shooting. Kai Car-France versus Steve Erceg. Erceg by decision. Erceg by points is a plus 130, I believe. Let me just make sure, just to double check. Steve Erceg, method of victory. Steve Erceg by points is a plus 130. I'll take that. Kai Car-France could win this fight decision. It could be a split decision. It could be grimy. And then main event, guys. Dricus Du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya. Dricus Du Plessis is a minus 105. Israel Adesanya is a minus 115. I'll take Israel Adesanya at a minus 115. Specifically going third round KO. If you guys like the props, you guys can take that. But if you want a better prop, remember I said that this fight doesn't go the distance. Main event doesn't go the distance, guys. It's a minus 136, I believe. Will this fight go the distance? Minus 136. I'll take that. I think somebody gets finished, whether it's the champion or the challenger, guys. Let me know what you guys think, guys. Drop a like on the video. Drop a sub. Longer video than usual. Let's get it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the fights tomorrow. It's going to be lit. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.